Hi, welcome to another video from RostyMaths. So I've already done a video on factorizing quadratics, and so that's you can have a look at that one. That's where I went through it really thoroughly on what you're actually doing. But recently I've come up on a few shortcuts, so I've discovered actually through talking to some other people of a nice new way of factorizing quadratics. So let's start off with it, and this will appeal to many people who find this rather difficult. So we'll start off with some easy foundation questions first, where we're factorizing quadratics. So here, as usual, as I did in my first video, look at this number on the end here. Well, we'll only focus on this number because there's a 1 here, so we don't really worry about that right now. Anyway, we want 2 factors of minus 3. That's going to give us 2. Well, because this number is negative, the two factors, one of them will have to be negative. So we will have to use 3 and 1. But if I want 3 and 1 to give me a positive 2, then it means that the 3 has to be positive and the 1 has to be negative. And once we've got that, then we can just double check it. 3 times minus 1 gives me minus 3. And 3 take away 1 gives me 2, positive 2 that is. And there we have our answer. Straight away you can literally just go x plus 3 and x minus 1. And you are finished with that. You just take these and put them in a bracket with the x. Now, I will do this one time just to show you that it does work. Actually, no, I'll have to do it again when I show you some harder questions. But let's just check it. Let's expand this bracket back out and see that we can get back everything we started off with. So let's go. First times first, x squared. Last times last, minus 3. In the middle there, 3 times x gives me 3x. And on the outer bit there, minus 1x. We will end up having to merge these two because they are the same. And when you merge them, it gives you 2x. So my final answer, I get back x squared plus 2x minus 3, which is exactly what I started with. So hope that convinced you that it does work. All right, let's crack on. Let's have a look at another problem. And feel free to pause the video at any point in time and have a go, see if you can figure it out yourself. So here we've got x squared minus 3x minus 10. And again, like I said, feel free to pause the video. Anyway, I'll go off to my 10 here. I want 2 factors of 10. That's going to give me 3. Now, I didn't show you this in the first question, but it'd probably be worth showing this to you. If I have got 10, and this is for somebody who's really struggling to find the factors, think of all the factors that make 10. So I'll use 10 and 1 makes 10. 2 times 5 makes 10. And then there's nothing else that I can multiply there to make 10. The question that you got to ask yourself is, of these factors, which one of them will give me 3? Well, 2 and 5 will give me 3. So now I know I'm using 2 and 5. Now, it's a minus 10, which means one of these has to be minus in order to multiply to make 10. But let's think of which one. If I want minus 3, then the bigger number has to be negative. So that has to be negative, and this has to be positive. And again, like we did on the first question, x plus 2 and x minus 5. And it doesn't matter which order you do it in, so long as you have the 2 things in the 2 brackets, then you're fine. Okay, so that's basically a really quick way of factorizing quadratic. Now, let's think about what will happen if you have a number other than 1 in front of x. Like, for example, 2x squared plus x minus 3. Okay, so before we had just a 1 in front of x, now we've got a 2 in front of x. Well, same sort of routine. Multiply the 2 with that minus 3 there. for starters. The reason why we didn't do it before is because it was multiplying it by 1, so you're not really changing it. But this time, when you multiply the 2 and the minus 3, which is, by the way, pay attention, the coefficient of x squared and the constant, so you multiply the 2 and the minus 3, you got minus 6. Okay, now we do exactly what we did before. We want 2 factors of minus 6, that's going to give us 1x. So we already know we can use 2 and 3 to get that. The question is, which one is plus and which one is minus? Now, because we want 1x, a positive one, that needs to be plus and that needs to be minus. Double check it. Minus 2 times 3 gives me that. And then when I do minus 2 plus 3, I get 1x. Now look at what I'm going to do. That's going to mess your brain up a little bit. Well, not really. It'd be fine. But you're going to see that I'm deliberately doing something wrong. Don't get cross with me just yet. Have a look. I'm going to take this 2x from the 2x squared and I'm going to repeat it in my brackets. So 2x and then minus 2. So minus 2 there. And then 2x again plus 3. So notice I did the same thing as I did from before with the first 2 easy questions. The minus 2 and the plus 3, they're in the brackets. They're nice and comfortable. But I've got 2x on here, and you know to yourself that 2x times 2x is not 2x squared, it's actually 4x squared. So what you do at this point is look at the 2 brackets. I can see that this has a common factor on both sides here. So I will simplify this bracket by dividing by 2. So I'll divide by 2 here and divide by 2 there. And once I do that, I'll be left with x minus 1 and 2x plus 3, because this other bracket doesn't have any common factors. Yeah, that just happened. So you might want to rewind and run that through again. But like I said before, let's re-expand it to prove to you that it does work. So here we go. That first times that first gives me 2x squared. This last times that last gives me minus 3. The middle bit there gives me minus 2x. And this outer bit here gives me plus 3x. We will now merge these two because they've both got x's in them. And so my final answer is 2x squared. This bit combines to just plus 1x. And then we've got minus 3 on the end. And as you can see, it's exactly what we started with. Okay, so we know for sure that this answer here was correct. All right, now that we've milked that good and well, you can try this one on your own. So feel free to pause the video and have a go. So here we go. All right, so this one is 3x squared plus 10x plus 7. All right, pause the video and have a go. Okay, so I'm going to crack on doing it now. So I hope you paused the video and you did have a go. So we're going to take that number and multiply them to give us a positive 21 when you do 3 times 7. And we want 2 factors of 21. That's going to give us this 10 in the middle. Well, lucky for us, we will use 7 and 3 still. So we're still going to use 7 and 3. So we know a plus 7 plus 3, if we multiply them, we get 21. And if we add them, we get 10. So remember what I said on the last question? This 3x, keep it in the brackets. So 3x plus 7, 3x plus 3. So that's going to be my 7 and my 3 there. This can't be simplified any further, but this can because we got a common factor of 3 there. So we're going to divide it by 3. And then once we divide that by 3, we're going to get 3x plus 7. And in this other bracket, x plus 1. because when we do 3x divided by 3 we get x, and 3 divided by 3 is 1. And that is now done. So that's the quick video, guys, on how to factorize, well, a quick way to factorize quadratics. I hope that it was easy enough for you to understand. And just before I go, I'm gonna just leave you a few questions for you to work out on your own. So here are 3 questions you can work out, and it'll be a good idea to pause the video now to have a go at doing them, because the next thing you're going to see in the next 5 seconds would be the answers. Alright guys, I decided to leave the working out on the side just so in case you needed to just double check yours, but the answers are as follows. So that's that one there, x minus 3 and 3x minus 2, and down here x plus 2 and 6x minus 11. Alright, that's it guys, really and truly the end of the video now. Hope that was enjoyable. If you know anyone who needs to know how to do this, feel free to share it with them. Alright, great, bye.